Jack Black, Hit Me Baby One More Time. Better than the original, I would say. Hit me baby one more time. That was not bad.
No, you're very good.
Thank you. That was Jack Black. Well, that was me doing an impression of Jack Black. I would sing that differently.
How would you sing it?
I don't know.
Hit me baby.
Hit me baby one more time. Welcome to another episode of Is This for Kids? I am Jonathan Bearded Blevins.
I'm Katie, Mrs. Ruby.
And today we have a heck of a show for you. But before we get into Kung Fu Panda 4, well done.
Thank you. I've been working out just so that I can attack you in a hallway later.
I too have been working out. This is a very small hallway. See Kung Fu Panda, all of them. They're all like they have the best looking food. In your opinion, best cartoon.
That is a really good pizza. So cheesy.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, where it's like stretch.
Yep.
Yeah. Ooh, that's a really good answer.
Do you have another one?
Here's the thing. I feel like anytime I see a movie where they have dumplings,
yep.
I like them so much more than I actually like dumplings.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm obsessed. I could live off of dumplings.
I mean, I don't dislike dumplings in real life. It's just like they're kind of a, maybe B tier food for me. Whereas when I see them in movies, I'm like S tier.
Have you had the ones with the soup in them?
No, I've never. But I see them a lot and I hear good things.
Life changing.
Do you know a place?
Well, there's a place in Vegas, not for kids.
A little far from here.
That I went to. I forget the name of it, but it's in the Aria.
Okay.
And I mean, it was unbelievable. Like you take a bite and it's just like the hot, it's crazy.
I'm not going to be in Vegas anytime soon. My daughter is. She's going to a Grateful Dead concert.
Maybe for dinner tonight, we'll find some soup They're called something. I don't think they're called soup dumplings.
I think they are.
Are they?
Yeah.
Okay. Either way, delicious. Kung Fu Panda 4. All it did was make me hungry, and there were no dumplings in the movie theater.
It was unfortunate.
I know.
It's rough.
But Jack Black is in it, and he's the perfect voice actor. He found his niche. I feel like that's everyone's dream. Every voice actor or actor's dream is just to like be a part of a franchise where you don't even have to like move. You just have to use your awesome, hilarious voice and just continue to get paid year after year.
Sure. There's a ton
Incredible
of
stuff.
Fantastic voice actors in this movie. And I know that he's been in every single Kung Fu Panda movie, but the minute I hear his voice, I'm like, that's Ian McShane. I love Ian McShane. So
I don't know how to do that impression. Can you?
No. He has like
I can just do skadoosh.
He seems like a slightly Scottish Southern man. Maybe I'm just pulling way too much from Deadwood. I don't know.
You might be. I've never heard of that before.
You've never seen Deadwood?
No, but I did see Kung Fu Panda 4.
Kung Fu Panda 4.
Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, so Kung Fu Panda 4, as you may have guessed, is the fourth installment in the Kung Fu Panda movies. And he has the unlikely dragon warrior who is a panda named Po. And in this particular movie, Po is struggling with the fact that he is no longer supposed to be the dragon warrior, but rather the spiritual advisor to the Valley of Peace. And he needs to select a successor as the dragon warrior. And so he is looking for that while going on one last mission to protect his staff, Staff of Wisdom, Jade Staff of Wisdom, from this chameleon mobster person, shape-shifting chameleon nonsense, with the help of a fox who you may have noticed was voiced by Awkwafina, the same person who did the voice of Chump in Migration.
No way.
Yeah, same girl.
Oh, that's awesome.
How do I know this voice?
And a genius move by Kung Fu Panda creators, DreamWorks. See, I did it. I was right.
Not Illumination, which I'm on record saying I think they're going to be the new Disney.
And there were 3 Illumination previews during Kung Fu Panda 4. So I almost said it just now. But DreamWorks, what a genius move. There's going to be a 5 for sure, right? Now they have another character of Dragon Warrior. Spoiler alert. Sorry. Okay, yes. Thoughts on whether or not it was for kids? Anything stick out?
Yeah. So just as a movie, just overall, there's no language that I can remember. Do you recall any swears? I do not either.
Pleasantly surprised by that, actually.
Yeah, no sex, no drugs. There is violence, obviously, because it's a kung fu movie. So they are fighting, but there's obviously it's animated. So there's no blood and nothing really, basically people just fall down.
Yeah.
So yeah.
The captain, they did actually have a drunk driving reference.
They did.
But it really wasn't.
He drinks like a fish.
Yeah, he drinks like a fish. Like, that's funny. Yeah. There was also the bull in the china shop joke, which was like absolutely one of the best parts of the entire movie. Did you catch that?
No, I didn't.
You didn't catch it there, and there was a moment. Again, sorry, spoiler, where they're like the bulls are chasing the main characters, and then they're in a china shop in China, and they're like really, really careful not to break anything. Oh, it's hilarious. It was awesome. But like the drinking and driving reference is only wildly offensive if it's over your head unless you've been like dramatically affected by that in your life, which I'm sure some people have, right?
Yeah, children may have been.
Yeah.
But at that point, like, that ship has sailed.
Yeah.
You know, so you need to take just a
step back. This is the podcast for you.
Oh my goodness. There's like maybe some classes at a local community center.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Anyway. The
only thing in this movie for me that stood out as something to note for parents is if you have a sensitive kid to, that's afraid of things, monsters, etc. The chameleon can be a little scary. The eyes, like as she morphs, for sure. Like I think of my 4-year-old daughter right now, Kiara.
Oh.
She is right now. She's really, really afraid of animals.
Okay.
And she has wolves and bears, and it's probably because we watched some nature documentaries, which might be worse than Kung Fu Panda 4.
That'll do it.
And so she'll like wake up sometimes in the middle of the night and she'll be like, Daddy, I'm scared. There was a wolf attacking me.
Yeah.
Right. So like for her, she's an easily scared kid right now. She's 4. She doesn't watch a lot of movies. And so like this movie, for sure, that part, like towards the end, it would be probably a little bit too scary for her. She'd probably get over it soon. But that's it. Like that's the only thing in the entire movie that's even a little bit negative. I think that the positive way outweighs the negative throughout the entire thing. There's tons of life lessons to be learned, and my boys would absolutely love it.
Yeah. I took my 2 youngest daughters to go see it. They both had a great time during the whole thing. And then my older 2 kids went and saw it by themselves with friends together. Like my son and daughter, who are both teenagers, went together to a movie with their friends. And I thought that was so sweet. I just love that they're friends with each other.
Yeah.
Anyway, they went to go see it. And the thing that they came back with that didn't occur to me at the time, but as soon as they came home, they said it. They said, Mom, did you know that Po has 2 dads? And I was like, huh. Is that so? So I was like, wait, what's happening? Because we never saw Kung Fu Panda 3.
Sure.
And, for me, I think, we've talked about the fact that I think it's important for kids to be able to see themselves in shows. And kids don't choose their families. And, it depends on what your family's perspective on these things are. But having a person with 2 dads or with an adopted father or, stepdads, these are all kinds of things that kids need to see and feel okay about, but I thought that they did a really good job of putting that in there without it having to be a thing where you need to have a sex conversation with your kids. So this is Po's adopted father, Mr. Ping, is a goose, and that was his father for Kung Fu Pandas 1 and 2, and then in Kung Fu Panda 3 his panda dad shows back up. His name is Li Shan, I think. Let me double check myself. Something like
You're
that.
correct.
I am. Okay, thank you. Li Shan. He shows up and is a panda dad.
Yeah.
It's, not a relationship that they're having with each other. But depending on how your family views that kind of a situation, that could be an open door for a conversation.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
It's interesting because they definitely make it a point to bring it up multiple times throughout the movie. But then they also kind of give the backstory as well. So you're like, okay, yeah, but I think you're right.
Yeah, they refer to him as our son together.
Yeah, they address it well. And the characters are hilarious.
Yeah.
Like the goose. I mean, that he could cook for me any day.
That mainly dumplings, actually, with the noodles and the whatnot. But yeah, I think it's so cool. Like, your kids are going to encounter people with different kinds of families going through their lives. You're going to find kids with divorced parents. You're going to find kids with 2 dads. You're going to find kids with other, stepdads and adopted families and all of these things. So I think it's really great to be able to have a place to have that conversation and then tailor it to your own family's experience.
Yeah, 100%. One of the things I like the best about this movie is the character development and like the belief in second chances, and not and that it's never too late to make good choices.
Yeah.
Just a super. Here's the thing. My wife and I don't like sit down and watch movies and then have super in-depth conversations after the movies necessarily. Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. So I'm not like trying to pretend like that. This is a great conversation starter for you and your children
glass of Pinot
about making right choices.
To talk about Kung Fu Panda.
But if we did watch it as a family, we didn't. I saw it super late last night and with my grown adult friend.
Sure.
We just watched the Kung Fu Panda
2 grown
and
men
then
for
Dune.
Kung Fu Panda, please.
Yes, it was awesome.
Did you get the special popcorn container?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, we did.
I want one though. Sounds delicious.
Maybe I'll bring it for you next time.
Okay.
We'll see.
Thank you. So we're not often having these conversations. However, we are often talking to our kids about making good choices. And if I did see this movie with my kids and with Jody, I would have found time in the next day or 2 to sit down with them and be like, guys, Like, what did you notice about these characters? Notice that this character was constantly making bad choices and then eventually started making good choices. You can do that. You're redeemable, and have those kinds of good conversations as you're trying to work with your younger kids, especially on making good choices. Like my 8, 7, and 4, 9, 7, and 4-year-old.
Got a big kid now.
I know, he's almost 10.
So big.
Double his age. He's an adult.
Wild.
Time for him to start watching some other movies.
Maybe. Yeah, but this is not a movie that you have to have seen everything before then. There was like some references to characters that gave him the staff or whatever, but you will be fine if you've never seen anything before this one. If this is your first Kung Fu Panda movie, it's fine. You'll be okay. There you go.
Totally. And besides the chameleon, like all the other villains that end up appearing like from the other movies, again, you don't have to know it. Like even they're super tame, and kind of like nice to the main character. That's interesting.
Yeah, because he's a Dragon Warrior now.
Well, skadoosh. What's the song? What's the song that they
Hit Me Baby
they
One
cover?
More Time?
Jack Black, Hit Me Baby One More Time. Better than the original, I would say. Hit me baby one more time. That was not bad.
No, you're very good.
Thank you. That was Jack Black. Well, I'm not. That was me doing an impression of Jack Black. I would sing that differently.
How would you sing it?
I don't know.
Hit me, baby.
Hit me, baby, one more time.
Yeah.
Maybe like opera. Did you know that I could do like an opera thing?
No.
Yeah. Sometimes I'm just like, but like I can get crazy loud with it. Opera, not for kids. Is it? I think isn't opera inappropriate?
Sometimes La Traviata is probably not great for kids, but
Never heard of it.
It's all in Italian.
Name 3 operas.
Huh?
Name 3 operas that I might have heard of. Phantom of the Opera.
La Boheme.
Never heard of it.
The Magic Flute.
I am uncultured. Never heard of it.
Oh my gosh.
Is Phantom of the Opera an opera though?
It's a rock opera. It's a musical.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like musicals. We can do musicals. We should do more musicals on the show.
Yeah. The difference between a musical and a rock opera is whether they sing the whole time.
Okay. I had no idea.
Yeah.
That's good to know. The more you know.
Dun, dun,
Kung Fu Panda
dun,
4.
dun.
Absolutely watch with your kids. Have fun with it.
Yeah. What age do you think it's appropriate for?
Ooh, good question. I'm going to go 7, 8, but it could be as good as 3 or 4 if your kid's not scared easily. Like that's the only thing I would say.
Freak you. I'm on the same wavelength. I said all ages, but probably interesting to kids 7 and up.
Look at us. We agree.
I took a 3-year-old. She was bored. So just.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's another thing I want to talk about. Like how like bringing babies to movies. There was a baby in Kung Fu Panda last night. Just having a hard time. And I was like, okay, like, that's time to take the baby outside. It's different than church, okay? It's different than church.
It is.
That's a whole other conversation.
Yeah.
Anyway, make sure you check us out all over the internet. IsThisForKids.com.
That's where we are. We're also on Instagram.
Yep.
Over on, you're probably on YouTube right now, but there you go.
Or they're listening on Apple or Spotify or wherever else they listen to podcasts.
You should leave us a review.
5 stars.
Yeah. Put a comment down in the bottom. But, there's just so much content out there for parents to go through.
I'm Jonathan Beard of Blevins.
I'm Katie, Mrs. Ruby. Let us help you decide.
Is this for kids?